Hi, I'm Abdurrahman, and today we're going to have a story called A Story of Impact and Recovery. COVID-19 changed the world in ways we never imagined. Countries faced economic decline, businesses were shut down, millions of jobs were lost, and tragically, many lives were also lost. But different countries experienced this crisis in different ways. What industries were mostly affected? How did vaccinations help the countries to recover? Let's explore this story through data. Life before COVID was quite normal. If you look at this world map, it's all in green. This is showing that life was thriving. There were some growth in terms of economic growth were there, and employment rates were quite normal. There are certain red areas, but these areas like Yemen, South Sudan, they are war-torn areas. Other than that, world was quite a place to live in. Then in 2019, COVID impacted the world in a very bad way. For example, if we look at the map here, see in early 2020s and late 2019, the world has started to face a negative growth. This is because of the fact that COVID was at its peak during this time. As a result of this, government implemented strategies, for example, lockdown strategies. So as a result, industries were shut down, and overall, the country's economies were suffering. If we look at the impact of COVID on world during its peak time, we'll notice here that almost every country in the world was suffering from a negative growth other than China. Let's, for example, see Russian Federation. They were not growing at all. Their economy was shrinking at minus 2.65%. Pakistan, my home country, was shrinking at 1.27%, and India was shrinking at 5.78%. So overall, the entire world was facing negative growth. COVID also impacted industries negatively. For example, all major industries were facing negative growth, particularly tourism industry, airline industry. They suffered very badly. Tourism industry was almost brought to halt in one time. There were certain industries that thrived also during this time. There were e-commerce industry. E-commerce industry faced a huge rise in their growth. This is because of the factor that people were locked down. So as a result, they had to do some shopping through e-commerce only. If we look at this map, it is showing unemployment rate. When people industry was not working, people were in lockdown, unemployment rates were at all-time high in 2020. You name a country and you will notice that the unemployment rate of each and every country has touched the skies during this time. And then, unfortunately, tragically, COVID-19 has led millions of deaths. No country, United States, India, Brazil, Russia, Germany, Mexico, Italy, you name a country, and every country had seen a very high number of deaths. So this graph is drawn as per the number of deaths. The bigger the graph is, the larger the number of deaths are. And then finally, um, thanks to the modern world and medicine world, that they developed a vaccine, COVID-19. I remember Pfizer and Moderna were the vaccinations that were available in early time. This vaccination has helped the countries and the humanity. For example, if you look at the graph here in that, it shows how massively it helped to save lives and how after the vaccination number of deaths decreased. So when majority of the population of the world was um, vaccinated, industries reopened, and as a result, unemployment rates again started to rise. Now, what are the lessons here that we are learning or that we have learned from it? Now, economies are rebuilding, everything is thriving, but we should know that 2019 COVID was a global crisis. It tested the humanity. It tested our ability to innovate. and adopt and recover. Basically, this had COVID-19 had one positive impact, and that it has prepared us in a better way for future. Thank you.